wasn't going for goal, but she'll happily accept it.
It's gone all the way through, and look at this! Chewinga! Did you dare write Barcelona off?
The career of one of the all-time greats is all but over.
He must come back.
Uma oportunidade de dizer alguma coisa que eu acho que nunca disse.
Let's get this party started!
NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl. It's your all-access pass.
That's how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Katie Taylor does it again. Look at the emotion.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
Let's go.
How do you like it? Off the shoulder. So aggressive, so focused. Look at these two guys.
Still the undisputed champion of the world.
We are live from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, where tonight the GOAT Claressa Shields returns in search of heavyweight and light heavyweight glory as she takes on Vanessa Joanisse as Salida Promotions presents Big Time Boxing USA. And we welcome you inside the Little Caesars Arena. Hello, everyone. I am Corey Erdman alongside El Diamante, Raul Marquez, and the legendary Al Bernstein. Pleased to be calling the action for you all night long here from ringside. We're going to start with the prelims here tonight, but of course, with our eye towards our main event between Claressa Shields and Vanessa Joanisse. But as we look at our prelims, broadly speaking, Al, I'll start with you. One thing that's interesting is this is also the quasi-promotional debut of Claressa Shields. Two of her fighters are on our prelims here in Sammy Worthington and her childhood friend, Jaquan McElroy. So in addition to it being a big night for her in the ring, it's also a big night for her as a promoter.
It really is, and she made a fascinating point. Samantha Worthington, who's ranked in the top 10 in her weight class by two of the organizations, is somebody who could fight somebody that might want to fight Claressa Shields if they jumped up in weight class, but instead her protege may be fighting them sometime soon. So yes, this is important to her, and great for her, she hopes, to get those two fighters out of the box in a good fashion.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, Raul, because people talk about Claressa Shields in terms of the doors that she's opened for women's fighters, but she's opening doors for the men, for Michigan-based fighters, fighters from her hometown. They're getting a big opportunity here tonight because of Claressa.
Yeah, I agree. And opportunities are always like that. They're always welcome, because a lot of these prospects, they don't stay busy enough, and it's important. When you're coming up in the boxing game, you want to stay busy. That's the most important thing. You don't want to be fighting 1 or 2 times a year. You want to stay busy, get 4 or 5 fights, or the most fights you could get in 1 year.
Well, let's talk about some of our prelim matchups here. In just a few moments, Al, we're going to start with Danielle Perkins, who's going to be taking on Christiane Fahey. And there's a through line here, of course, between our very first fight early in the night and our main event, because Danielle Perkins might be the most prominent American women's heavyweight other than now Claressa Shields. And Perkins was at least in consideration to face Claressa Shields at one point as well.
Yeah, she is an amateur champion. She was an amateur champion in 2019 and 2018. She won the bronze medal at the World Championship. She's an older fighter. She's 41 because she got a late start in boxing, but she's a big, powerful heavyweight who is 4-0, making her way and trying to hone her professional skills, which clearly are different than the amateur game, and try and get herself to the point where she's capable of having a big fight, like with Shields or someone else.
Yeah, big night of action here from Detroit, Michigan. 10 potential fights that we could be showing you here tonight. But let's take a look at tonight's fight card. We'll start with tonight's main fight card, which you'll see starting at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, live on DAZN. As we mentioned, our main event between Claressa Shields and Vanessa Joanisse. Of course, very interesting that the WBC heavyweight title on the line, also the WBO's light heavyweight title. That's because there is a 175-pound weight limit for both of those sanctioning bodies. So in effect, it's the same weight class, but it will turn out that the winner of this fight will be a champion in two different weight classes. So it will bolster the resume of the winner of our main event, but also two fantastic 140-pound matchups here in our co-feature and in our main broadcast opener. Michelle Rivera taking on Hugo Roldan, and the return of Shojahan Ergashev as he takes on Julian Smith. Now, the aforementioned prelim card, it is a busy one as well. We've told you about Danielle Perkins, the American heavyweight hope, taking on Christiane Fahey. Samantha Worthington, the first women's signee of Claressa Shields' T-Rex Promotions, taking on the quintessential journeywoman Adina Kiss. Jaquan McElroy, we referenced him as well, the first male signee to T-Rex Promotions, as he takes on Travis Floyd. Hussam El Mashadi will be taking on Bruno Romay, and the prospect of the year from 2023, Ernesto Mercado, will be taking on Hector Sarmiento. But right now, let's welcome in the fourth member of our broadcast team, Emily Austin.
Hey everyone, Emily Austin from DAZN here. My first time in Detroit. I could feel the energy. We got Claressa, who's from Detroit. Tonight, you're going to have some surprise guests in the audience, some special guests of Claressa's, some inside scoop about an interesting conversation I had yesterday with Ergashev. If y'all know me, you know I'm a big NBA fan. Detroit, we got a lot of people in the house, but one special guest, who I won't tell you just yet, but will be making an appearance later on to share his predictions and a little bit of an inside scoop story. I can't wait to see this tonight. Now, personally, this is my first female fight on the main card. It seems like the audience has a little bit of bias when I walked around to ask some fans for their predictions. It seems like everybody thinks this will be an easy win for Claressa. There's only one way to find out. Stay tuned for later. Back to you, Corey.
Thank you so much, Emily. Yeah, the stars are certainly out here in Detroit. We got to look at the guest list as well. People certainly coming out to see Claressa Shields. Let's talk a little bit more about our prelims, because there is one particularly notable name, Raul, on our prelims, Ernesto Mercado taking on Hector Sarmiento. Ernesto Mercado, the 2023 almost unanimous prospect of the year in terms of most major boxing publications. Raul, you were ringside for Ernesto Mercado's last fight. I was there calling it as well. Had a very easy night against Daniel Barrio. Looking for a little bit more resistance here tonight in Detroit.
Yeah, we hope so. You know, he was a decorated amateur. He won like 22 national titles. You know, he's big, he's strong for this weight class. He's very skillful. And, you know, like you said in Houston, you know, the fight was pretty easy, you know, so hopefully this time, you know, it's a bigger test, and that's what a prospect like that needs. He needs to keep getting tested, and being that he wants to test the waters at 140 pounds too.
Yeah. And, all right, looks like we are ready to introduce our MC for this evening, Mr. Throwdown, Pete Trevino.
Promotions and 313 presents, in association with Hotel St. Regis Detroit and Mark Taffet Media, proudly present Big Time Boxing USA. Your first matchup is scheduled for 6 rounds in the female heavyweight division. Judges for this matchup are David DeYoung, Rose Gross, and Vincent Santino. This matchup is being brought to you by Salida Promotions and 313 Presents. Scheduled for 6 rounds in the heavyweight division with your referee, Patrick Smith. And now introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the turquoise trunks, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, she weighed in at 173.4 pounds. She comes to the ring representing Assassin Boxing with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss, with both of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Aberdeen, Scotland, ladies and gentlemen, here is Christian the Mad Hatter Fahey. Her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red and black trunks, standing 6 feet tall, she weighed in at 175.4 pounds. She comes to the ring representing Storm Boxing. She has a perfect record, 4 wins and no losses and no draws, with 2 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, by way of Brooklyn, New York, here is 4-time Team USA champion, 2019 world champion, and the reigning WBC silver heavyweight champion, Danielle New Era Perkins. Referee Patrick Smith with final fight instruction.
Okay, boxers, you've had your instructions in the back. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch them up, come out at the bell.
So here we go. We are all set for our opening contest of the evening. 6 rounds in the women's heavyweight division. Danielle Perkins taking on Christian Fahey of Scotland. Perkins, you heard the amateur exploits, the former world amateur champion, multi-time national amateur champion. Coming off a 2nd round TKO win over Tamea Nagy in March of this year in El Paso. Fahey dropped a 6-round split decision to Mary Casamassa in Washington last July in her U.S. debut, but many observers of that fight believe that Fahey ought to have been the victor that night. So 2 good-looking heavyweights here, setting the table for our heavyweight main event a little bit later on tonight.
You see Perkins off of the southpaw stance trying to establish that jab, and you know that comes from her amateur pedigree. You know, I'm always big on the amateur background. She was a Team USA member, and you know she won bronze medals at the 2018 World Championships and the following year too. So she's been around, and you could tell she's trying to dictate the pace of the fight so far, Corey.
One thing we're seeing from Fahey already here in the early going, which we saw in her fight against Mary Casamassa, the willingness to just take the opportunities that are given to her, especially with the right hand. She's facing another southpaw here tonight. We've seen her touch Perkins to the body a couple of times already, Alex.
Yeah, she'll try and get that right hand in as much as she can, and she's hoping not to get hit by the straight left, and there you see her landing that right. You talked about it, Corey. She's a former rugby player. There's no lack of toughness in her.
A national caliber rugby player in Scotland, and a nice right hand up top there from Fahey.
That's the way to beat left-handers, straight left hands and right hooks. And left hooks, should I say. Right hands and left hooks. That's exactly what Fahey did right now against Perkins. She really hasn't had a hard time trying to land that right hand.
So in the closing seconds here of the opening round, Fahey noticeably busier than Danielle Perkins, who's come out very relaxed here in the opening round.
Short hands in the body, kick belt, back hand in the body. Water. Listen, you keep busy. Don't be ready, let me wait. One more step back. Shoot. how you get up to that rope. This is stuff you don't work on a million times.
Here we see Fahey landing that straight right hand to the body. You see her changing it up. She throws her right hand to the body and then to the top. Was very successful at landing that right hand. There goes that right hand again. Perkins took it pretty well. She's coming forward, trying to establish that jab. You know, I think Perkins is trying to land that left hand too, Corey.
A good opening round there for Fahey. Round 2 underway. Again, this is just a 6-rounder, so.
Oh. Fahey right off the bat, explosive with that 1-2. And again.
Perkins sneaking in a nice right hand there as well. Mentioned the athletic exploits of Fahey. Danielle Perkins at one point was a top 10 NCAA rebounder during her final collegiate year at St. John's University. And following her collegiate career, suffered some horrifying injuries, and at one point didn't think she'd be able to walk again. She was struck by a car, fell into a depression, but was able to find herself through the sport of boxing again. A very similar story to what we know about Vanessa Joanisse, who we'll see in our main event later on.
You know, Perkins has some defensive liabilities, and we're seeing some of those in evidence here where she attacks and kind of squares herself up and leaves herself open. Fahey has actually taken advantage of that on a couple of different occasions, but this kind of pressure from Perkins is starting to make a difference.
Yeah, very different look from Perkins here in the second round, walking Fahey down and using some of that physicality. See the head movement of Perkins, very relaxed in her approach, Raul.
Yeah, she is being very relaxed, and that's a good fighter. Has to be relaxed, and you know it's paying off now. Look at, she's imposing her size. She's really coming forward now and connecting big shots against Fahey. See Fahey's nose bleeding now from the impact of the hard punches.
Oh, big left hand there from Perkins, and now Perkins digs downstairs to the body. Fahey leaking blood from the nose right now and might have been wobbled earlier in the round as well. This is a big round for Danielle Perkins. And I have already been splattered with blood, and we are about 10 minutes into the broadcast.
Yeah.
I know. Try to bide my time. I know you're trying to bide the time. You're going to head time. It's only 2 minutes, 6 minutes round. So I need you to be moving. I need you to be clever. Every time it hurts.
A big round for Perkins. She started to unload offensively, and Fahey was against the ropes for much of that round. The body work from Perkins was especially effective in that round, and then she continued the assault as the round continued, and using the jab and a straight left hand very effectively.
It's round 3 underway. A monstrous round for Danielle Perkins there in round 2. Looked like this might be a fight that was on its way to being over. Let's see if Christiane Fahey can bounce back, as Perkins once again applying the pressure and banging away to the body in the opening 20 seconds of the round.
Yeah, Perkins needs to keep that momentum going. A little bit of a leash off for there by Perkins. More hard combinations, powerful shots by Perkins.
You know, Perkins is calculated in a way. She keeps getting hit with the right hands as she's coming in by Fahey, but she's calculated that they're not hurting her, and so she's willing to take them.
Yeah, Fahey, she's tough. She's taking some hard shots and still trying to give some back, but you could tell the level of that Perkins is. She's just a better fighter. She's in control, but she's very relaxed, making her miss, making her pay. Good counter punching by Perkins.
And at the end of the day, more powerful.
Yes, sir. She's dominating now.
Yeah, and that's an important element here too, guys. Remember, Fahey mostly fighting at 160, 168. But now you're fighting a full-fledged heavyweight who is just battering her around the ring right now.
Yeah, Perkins just having fun now. Moving forward, blocking some shots, making her miss. Look at those hard, solid shots. Really, Perkins sitting on her shots now, trying to put more hurt on Fahey.
Well, there was a big left hand that landed a moment ago, right over top of us.
And more blood on top of us again, Corey.
This is a messy start to the night, courtesy of Danielle Perkins.
How are you feeling? You're doing fucking perfect until you go into that corner. As soon as you're in that corner, you're fucking... You need to bite into the corners. Hold up. How are you feeling?
I want to see inside her mouth.
Her mouth's fine.
Come here. Open your mouth when you say ah. Okay, she's good.
Watch that big left hand by Perkins. There we go. Sets it up with a nice jab. All over Fahey. Fahey trying to hold on. Seems like she's going a little bit at times into survival mode. Her face is a mess.
Okay, seconds out. Let's go. Seconds out. Let's go. Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Doc Gilbert, the cut man for Christiane Fahey, the cut man for a number of fighters here tonight, certainly has his work cut out for him in the opening contest. The trainer of Christiane Fahey, Lee McAllister, also may have some choices to make as well, Al, because Fahey taking a lot of punishment already.
Yeah, it's really a good point. At some point, he might have to think about pulling the plug, only because, as you point out, in against a much bigger woman, getting hit with some big shots, and so often women have to step up when they're in a higher weight class to a place where they don't want to be.
Fahey's still game. She's got a big heart. She's trying to land some shots. Perkins just giving her different looks. You know, she tries to bait her in, let her come in and catch her with the left hand. Sometimes she attacks, like she is now with a double jab and trying to land another big left hand. Really putting some hurt on her now, Corey.
Big left hand there from Perkins and comes right behind it with a nice right hook. And Raul, you made a good point earlier on as Fahey lands a nice right hand over the top, but gets clipped with a big left hook. Right hook, excuse me, from Danielle Perkins. I mean, Perkins made a determination early in this fight. She basically said, okay, you go ahead and touch me to the body. I'm going to counter you with harder stuff up top.
Fahey can land that right hand. She's landed 4 or 5 hellacious right hands. It just hasn't quite stopped Perkins, but boy, she's getting a punch in a lot.
Yeah, this is a valiant effort from Fahey here in the 4th round. Fahey trying to work her way out of danger. You hear her corner right now telling her, tie her up, tie her up. There's Danielle Perkins with free hands and an opponent on the ropes is a dangerous proposition as we come to the end of round 4.
That was a fascinating round.
The best fucking round. Listen, how you feeling?
He said I ain't getting hit. I said I know, but it looks bad.
Well, there was two-way action in that round. Fahey landing a right hand that even gets a reaction from Perkins, and yet another one. There were moments in that round in which Fahey landed some pretty big shots, and that one, yet another example. So it was a very close and well-contested round at a point where it looked like Fahey might be out of things.
Sometimes it's kind of like they say, most people have an accident within 1 mile at home. They get relaxed
Ready to go. Let's go. Come on.
It's round 5 now underway, and Christiane Fahey comes out firing a right hand immediately.
Yeah, right off the bat with the 1-2 and landed the 1-2, but just can't hurt Perkins. Just Perkins' shots are more solid. You could hear them when she lands, and I think Corey, she needs to throw some flurries, punches and bunches, then try to land the big shot. That way, maybe that way she could stop Fahey.
Well, to that point, Raul, I think there is that possibility too with how Fahey is looking right now, with the state of her face. If you're Perkins and you put some punches together, if there is a flurry and the referee sees it, you might compel a referee to stop this fight.
That's what happens most of the time, when a fighter like Fahey, look at her face. She's a blood, she's a mess. And if Perkins could apply more pressure, but don't load up so much on her shots, it's punches and bunches, a lot of flurries, then go for the big shot, that might cause the referee to stop the fight.
The only problem with this scenario is Perkins really not throwing many punches, period. And Fahey has thrown way more punches and landed way more in this round.
Nice body work there for Perkins.
Fahey coming back with that right hand. And Perkins takes the right hand.
Hard body shot there from Perkins, then comes up top with a straight left hand.
Oh.
Huge uppercut from Perkins. And Fahey is an absolute mess.
That's the flurries I'm talking about. Pick up that punch output, more speed on those combinations.
Another big combination from Danielle Perkins. But a sneaky counter right hand from Fahey in the closing seconds of that round. And my goodness, look at the face of Christiane Fahey.
Yeah. Listen, that's why we need Parker. Let me get in here. Got to come to him.
Get out. Can't breathe.
Stand below. Lights off now. Listen. Be a hat now. She's absolutely fucked. I like beat some. You're so proud.
We got to get this
Hanging in there, coach.
Yeah,
Sure,
bro.
fighting back. I can see that.
Look at breathe. It's last round. Come on.
Breathe through your mouth.
Right, take the water. Come on.
Let's go.
Look at me do this here.
We'll see that big uppercut by Perkins where she goes to the body and then boom, that almost ripped her head off. She would have came back with some, that's what I'm talking about there, Corey, with some flurries. Maybe the referee would have stopped it.
It's round 6 underway in what has been a bloody and fascinating opening contest here between Danielle Perkins and Christiane Fahey. And Al, to build upon a point that you made earlier, in the interest of fairness, you probably give Christiane Fahey the opening round. Maybe you give her round 4, and probably until those uppercuts started raining in, there might have even been a case for Fahey to win that last round as well.
Yeah, there's probably a couple of rounds, as you point out, that could go her way. Perkins has been much more impressive with her power and, of course, all the blood on the face.
Of course.
But Fahey has landed her share of punches. Here's the other question. Danielle Perkins had a different mission in this fight than just winning, didn't she? She had a mission of being dominant and showing that she could be someone that could get a bigger fight. And, I guess the jury's still out on whether she did that here.
Yeah, Perkins will certainly have her eye on our main event between Claressa Shields and Vanessa Joanisse. Also has interest in the IBF heavyweight champion, Lanny Daniels from New Zealand. A couple different routes that Perkins could go.
Yeah, they've talked about the Daniels fight a lot.
Trading shots in the middle of the ring there. Stiff right hand from Perkins. And again, Christiane Fahey just finding those sneaky right hand counters often enough to make this one interesting.
Yeah, she's quick with those shots, fast and explosive, and that's why she's able to catch Perkins. But you could just, Perkins' size and strength is wearing down Fahey. And tell you what, if it was maybe an 8-10 round fight, you could see how maybe Perkins would be able to stop her.
Final moments of the contest, and that was a valiant effort from Christiane Fahey.
A big heart.
And a nice moment between two women as we kick off tonight's broadcast here in Detroit.
Well, as we look back at this fight in microcosm, the early start for Fahey, she was landing some very nice combinations and some straight right hands, but then the power of Perkins started to make itself known, and she started landing those big straight left hands, the thunderous jabs, and also going downstairs as well. And it turned the tide in this fight, and once that tide turned, Raul, it became kind of an onslaught. Even though Fahey kept having her good moments, the Perkins power took over.
Yeah, I agree. It was all downhill for Fahey, but I mean, you got to give her a lot of credit. She's got big heart. I mean, she was fighting a bigger lady, probably stronger, more experienced. She might want to come back down to another weight class, and hopefully she'll realize that this is not her weight class, Corey.
You see those vicious uppercuts from Danielle Perkins, but I'm sure Fahey made some fans here tonight. And it looks like we are ready to make this one official, so let's send it up to Pete Trevino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the boxers in the center of the ring. After 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge David D. Young scores the matchup 60-54. Judge Rose Gross scores it 59-55, and Judge Vincent Santino also scores it 59-55 for your winner by unanimous decision, Danielle New Era Perkins.
So Danielle Perkins with a wide decision win over Christiane Fahey in our opening contest as we set the table for a night that features women's heavyweight boxing. Danielle Perkins with her eyes on both the winner of the main event and, as we mentioned, potentially the IBF champ, Lanny Daniels, because, you know, as we've talked about, guys, it is a shallow pool of contenders in the women's heavyweight division, which kind of has 2 results. For someone like Danielle Perkins, it's unfortunately meant that she hasn't been as active as she wants, but it does also mean that you can leapfrog into a big opportunity very quickly, just as Vanessa Joanisse did.
That's a very good point, and that is what got her, Joanisse, to this fight tonight. And as you point out, it's a very short step to get to those title matches because of the lack of depth.
So Danielle Perkins, our winner in our opening contest, as we take a look at our prelim fight card. Still to come, appearances from Hassan Al-Mashadi and the 2023 Prospect of the Year, Ernesto Mercado, who will take on Hector Sarmiento. But coming up next, it will be the debuts under the Claressa Shields promotional banner of both Samantha Worthington and Jaquan McElroy. But right now, let's send it back over to Emily Austin.
Hey guys, I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed that fight, and I'm going to take pride as a New Yorker because Perkins is a Brooklyn-born native. She has that New York hustle, and I don't know if this information is out there, but she was a former professional NBA player. So she has the athleticism, she's fit, she's hungry, that New York mentality she's got in her. She's going to walk by me momentarily. She doesn't even look fazed by that fight. I'm sitting on the ringside thinking, at what point is this enough blood? How much does Corey need to shield his face from the splattering blood going around? But you know what? A win is a win. She did fantastic. Here she comes right now. Let's give her a proper congratulations. Congratulations, that was amazing. From one New Yorker to another, I am impressed. Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn, baby.
Long Island, yeah.
I accepted this time.
You got some blood on your face. I'm assuming that's not yours.
No, that's all hers. I don't, no blood for me.
We're gonna let you go get some energy drinks, you know, rejuvenate, but I just want to tell you that was an impressive performance.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the zone having us on. I would like to be on the main card next time, you know.
Oh,
absolutely. I definitely want to see your girl Shields next time out. This would be a great fight for the people.
Oh yeah, we're so excited.
A little bit of power and speed. Yeah, that's the main event.
All right, back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Emily. From one women's bout to another, as Sammy Worthington will take on Edina Kiss in the 140-pound division. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape. Sammy Worthington, the first women's signee of T-Rex Promotions. You see the tail of the tape, Worthington enjoying a height and reach advantage, a major reach advantage in this one. Adina Kiss will hop to any weight division that will have her, as the 34-year-old Adina Kiss looks to spring an upset here. All right, let's throw it back up to Pete Trevino to meet the fighters.
And here we go, fight fans. The following matchup is scheduled for 8 rounds in the super lightweight division. Your 3 judges for this matchup are Luis Delgado, Rose Gross, and Vincent Santino. Being brought to you tonight by Salida Promotions and 313 Presents, scheduled for 8 rounds in the super lightweight division with your referee, Ben Rodriguez. Introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in white, standing 5 feet 4 inches tall, she weighed in at 140 pounds. She comes to the ring representing Team Kiss with a record of 16 wins and 20 losses, with 9 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Budapest, Hungary, ladies and gentlemen, here is Adina Kiss. Her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the silver and black trunks, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, she weighed in at 139.4 pounds. She comes to the ring representing Flowers Boxing Lab and Mike Guy Boxing, with a perfect record of 8 wins, no losses and no draws, with 6 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Lexington, Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen, here is Sammy the Heat Worthington. Referee Ben Rodriguez with final fight instruction.
Chief seconds. All right, ladies. Belt line is good right here in the middle of the letters. The belt line is good right where it is, okay? You both received your instructions in the dressing room, so you know what I expect. A clean, professional fight. Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch colors if you wish. Good luck to you both.
So we are ready to go. 8 rounds in the 140-pound division. The T-Rex Promotions promotional debut of Sammy Worthington of Lexington, Kentucky, as she takes on Adina Kiss. Worthington actually fought Claressa Shields at the 2016 Olympic trials. Had some great amateur wins, such as that win over Rashid Ellis, who went on to win a World Amateur Championship. So Worthington already a serious contender in the 140-pound division. And Al is actually ranked 3rd by one of the sanctioning bodies already.
Yeah, and she comes in here off a win over good veteran Yasmin Rivas in a 10-round win, a wonderful Mexican fighter, a veteran. And that was kind of a trial by fire for her to show, is she ready to take another step? So she's an impressive young woman right now.
Fighting a fast pace, Worthington. Everything off the jab, good body puncher. She's busy in there against Kiss. Kiss is gonna have to use the whole ring, you know, stay away from the corners, stay away from the ropes, keep turning her, and don't stand in front of Worthington. Or just hold on to her and let the referee separate you and restart all over again.
Nice right hand over the top there from Adina Kiss. Mentioned that win over Yasmin Rivas, Al. Rivas, when she does go on the women's ballot for Canastota, is a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, reigned at bantamweight and super bantamweight for many years.
Yeah, obviously a veteran now, and that's when a young fighter wants to get her, but you're right. I mean, she was, she has accomplished so much in women's boxing. So a good win for Worthington to put on her resume. She shows us a little left-handed style, Worthington.
And now working out of the southpaw stance, equally as effective thus far as she lands a terrific left hand there on Adina Kiss, who was stopped last time out. She was knocked out by Elia Carranza in 2 rounds in January of this year in Florida. And Sammy Worthington is doing a number on her here in the opening round.
Here's Worthington connected with some combinations. The left hand. What I like about her is, she sat down on that left hand and then she came back with a 3 and 4 punch combination. throwing flurries. Kind of like I wanted Perkins to do, Corey, and she's doing that. You could see her experience.
And attack. Get an angle and attack. You'll be good in there.
I know. I know.
Don't walk straight in there.
Okay.
What do you see, coach? Good round.
It's round 2 underway. A dominant opening round from Sammy Worthington, as the quintessential journeywoman Adina Kiss tries to spring the upset here tonight. And Adina Kiss, you look at her resume, the names she's been in there with: Amanda Serrano, Cindy Serrano, Helen Joseph, Shelly Vincent, Rhiannon Dixon, Maureen Shea. Anyone basically from 126 to about welterweight, she is willing to step in there with.
Yeah, she is the very definition of a journeywoman in this case. And she is kind of the woman's version of Rustam Strauss, a former famous opponent.
Okay.
What about Reggie Strickland?
Yeah, Reggie
Strickland. Another guy.
Well, interestingly enough, Adina Kiss's partner is also a journeyman of sorts. Running her corner here tonight.
And they, you know, she gets in there and she gives it her all, you know, and makes an effort and tests young prospects.
His partner Zoltan Serra working her corner here tonight. He's faced the likes of Caleb Plant, Eric Bazinian, and more. So quite the interesting family business they have going on, guys.
Worthington, you know, it can attack at will here. Obviously, Kiss has not shown her the power, so she's showing a bunch of different looks that she might not show against some top contender, maybe squaring herself up a little, twisting around, but she's trying a bunch of things and knows she can walk in and land power punches.
Yeah, so far, very confident in there, just having fun. You could tell she's having fun. It's like a sparring match for her, and, you know, she's using different tactics. I like the way she changes the speeds of her combination. She knows how to sit on her shots, and she uses speed, comes back with the jabs. She switches from lefty to righty. But like you said, Al, she's not going to be able to do that with a higher level opponent.
Get back on your way back.
Worthington, you know, she's got good hand speed, and there's a really nice 1-2 combinations and mixing it up to both the body and the head. She has all the offensive punches in her arsenal that you would want. She's got a good hook, and there she demonstrates that, and she changes the levels of her punches as well.
Up, down, down and up, up, down and up. Double jab when you don't see nothing. Paint when you don't see nothing. Don't walk right in there.
And this one will be waved off. The corner of Adina Kiss deciding that is enough. So a stoppage victory for Sammy Worthington. A little bit of confusion there momentarily, but this one is over. So the Heat, Sammy Worthington with a big win in her DAZN broadcast debut.
We were just getting started.
Well, she is sitting in a division, the super lightweight division, that has so many excellent fighters in it, so many potential big fights. She's a step or two away from some of those big fights, even though she's highly ranked. I think she would probably even say that, but she's approaching it.
Yeah, ranked inside the top 10 by 2 different sanctioning bodies. So Worthington is a fighter that could get that call at any point. But to your point, Al, would I'm sure love another one of those kind of intermediary fights before she takes the big step up. But that is certainly a way to make your debut promotionally and here on this platform. Nice moment there between Sammy Worthington and Adina Kiss. And it looks like we are ready to make this one official. Let's send it back up to Pete Trevino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the boxers in the center of the ring. At the beginning of the third round, the corner of Adina Kiss has terminated this matchup. Therefore, your winner by TKO, Sammy the Heat Worthington.
So Sammy Worthington improves to 9-0, that being her 7th knockout in her professional career. With a top 10 ranking, is sure to be a factor in the 140-pound division. Al, the Heat nickname, do you think that's an ode to Heather Hardy or Johnny Verderosa?
Boy, only you would bring out a Johnny Verderosa reference. Go ahead, Ro.
And here we see how she did it. A good combination puncher, everything off the jab, nice uppercuts, changing the speeds of the combination. It was an excellent performance, excellent stay busy fight for Worthington, and hopefully she'll get her shot soon. You know, like you said, Corey, she might need another type of fight like this, maybe a little bit tougher opponent when she's ready for the bigger names.
Stoppage win for Sammy Worthington as we take a look at tonight's prelim fight card. Big wins for Danielle Perkins and Sammy Worthington. Still to come, the 2023 Prospect of the Year, Tito Mercado, as he takes on Hector Sarmiento. And coming up next, another Claressa Shields signee in Jaquan McElroy will be taking on Travis Floyd in just a few moments. But right now, let's send it back over to Emily.
Sammy Worthington dominated that fight from round one. I don't know if you guys saw, she gave a hard right to the body punch. It seems like it threw Kiss off guard, but stoppage in round two. I'm curious if she knew that this fight would be so easy or if this was unexpected, but quite impressive. This makes it 9-0. I think we'll be seeing more of her. Sammy will join us momentarily. Let's see if she's down for an interview. Sammy, could you join DAZN for a moment? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That was amazing. I mean, stoppage.
So much fun. Oh my gosh.
It looked like you were. You gave a hard shot to her body right there in round one. At what point did you know that this was it for you? You got this.
So I kind of had some, I guess, pre-fight, big stage jitters that I just kind of had to shake out. And I don't really ever get nervous, but I could feel myself being a little bit too anxious in there. By the time I was in the middle of the second round, I was like, I don't think she's coming back out. And I don't ever say that or think ill of my opponents or anything, but I was just I don't know. I just felt really powerful that round, and a power that I had never even felt. The power of the Holy Spirit was on me. Jesus has been all over this camp and just really provided for me in ways that I couldn't even explain in words. Seriously.
Congratulations. We're looking forward to seeing more of you. Back to you, Corey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Emily. So from one Claressa Shields signee to another, as Jaquan McElroy will make his professional debut here at the Little Caesars Arena as he takes on Travis Floyd of Douglasville, Georgia, as we take a look at the tail of the tape for our next contest. See McElroy and Floyd even in terms of height. Travis Floyd will enjoy a reach advantage here tonight, but the 37-year-old journeyman does have 9 losses, paired with just 1 victory in his pro career. So Jaquan McElroy looking for a statement victory to kick off his pro career. Let's meet the fighters. Let's send it back up to Pete Trevino.
Here we go, fight fans. The following matchup is scheduled for 4 rounds in the middleweight division. Your 3 judges for this contest are David D. Young, Luis Delgado, and Rose Gross. Being brought to you tonight by Selena Promotions and 313 Presents. Scheduled for 4 rounds in the middleweight division with your referee, Patrick Smith. And now introducing the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in gold. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, he weighed in at 153.6 pounds. He comes to the ring representing RR Takeoff Flight Entertainment with a record of 1 win, 9 losses, and 2 draws. Fighting out of and representing Douglasville, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen, here is Travis, Mr. KSO Floyd. His opponent across the ring fighting out of the red corner, wearing the silver trunks trimmed in white. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, he weighed in at 158.2 pounds. He comes to the ring representing Friends of Burston and T-Rex Promotions. Making his professional debut for you in the ring tonight, fighting out of and representing Flint, Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Jaquan King Quan McElroy. Referee Patrick Schmidt with final fight instruction.
Okay, gentlemen, you have your instructions in the back. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch them up, come out at the bell. Good luck.
So this is the pro debut of Jaquan McElroy. The Michigan Golden Gloves champion, semi-finalist at the National Golden Gloves. And training out of the same Burston Field House that Claressa Shields made famous in Flint, Michigan. Round 1, this one's scheduled for 4.
33 amateur bouts in which he performed so well, as you point out, and now ready to turn pro.
Celebrated his birthday just 2 weeks ago. This is quite the gift, a promotional contract, a spot on the broadcast.
Nice month for him.
McElroy, the younger brother of Ardrell Holmes, who of course we've seen here on Big Time Boxing USA. 154-pound contender. Holmes working the corner of his brother here tonight. McElroy looks to go to the body here early.
Floyd out of the southpaw stance, you know, he's bringing it to McElroy. But McElroy, you can see his skills, you know, his amateur background, nice frame defense. He's trying to bait him in. He keeps touching him with the jab, trying to land that right hand. He just missed with that right hand, but you see some speed behind it. Sooner or later, McElroy is going to be able to land that right hand on Floyd.
You know, even though Floyd is, as we used the phrase journeyman before, you don't always face a lefty in your first pro fight, which does bring with it, you know, some conundrums.
I would imagine so, but, you know, in the amateurs, you know, we're used to fighting righties, lefties. When you have a decent amateur background, it kind of helps, but you know, you're right. I mean, you don't want to fight a lefty in your pro debut.
Sometimes not, but
it's not the right thing.
Your point's well taken, though. And of course, you were a lefty, so you.
You wouldn't want to fight me on your pro debut.
I wouldn't want to fight you ever, Raul, but certainly not on my pro debut.
I've got blood on my shirt and I haven't done anything yet, so I don't.
Yeah, I got some blood too, guys. McElroy taking his time. Very poised. I'm sure he's going to pick it up in the second round. You know, they'll talk to him, try to make adjustments. But he keeps touching him with the jab. There's that right hand. Now it's landing on Floyd. But Floyd's game. I mean, look, he's got 10 professional fights. He's 1-9, so he's been in there a lot, 10 more times than.
Yeah. And McElroy starting to get in another punch is so important when you're facing a lefty. That left hook downstairs, which puts him in place and also gives you the chance to double up with that punch. People think it's just the right hands, but when you're in against a lefty, that left hook, there it is a great weapon.
What I do like about McElroy, you know, he's being his pro debut. He's very composed, you know. He's very relaxed in there. Usually you get, you know, the jitters and you want to load up with one shot, but he's not doing that. He's touching with his shots.
Great point. Opening round in the pro career of Jaquan McElroy, officially in the record books. It's round 2 underway. Jaquan McElroy and Travis Floyd, the pro debut of McElroy, signed to Claressa Shields' promotional outfit. Travis Floyd looking for his first win in 7 outings. He's winless in his last 7 outings. Stopped in 4 rounds by Devon Williams on the Broner Cobbs undercard in June of this year. But he is 1-0 in bare knuckle boxing, where he won a fight in BKFC.
I'll tell you what, it takes a lot to get up there and do bare knuckle boxing, Corey. No gloves.
Hence the name. The interesting thing about this fight, we've pointed out, is that Floyd is coming forward for a good portion of this fight. Doesn't mean he's being effective, but he is trying, and he's landing a few shots and putting pressure.
See Floyd open up at times. I'm looking for McElroy to capitalize when Floyd opens up. You know, he comes in kind of wild and open. And I think McElroy should be able to capitalize on that and counter.
Yeah, you keep thinking the counter right hand is coming from McElroy.
I feel like it is, yeah. He keeps missing by a bit. He's got some speed on it, and it's pretty explosive, but he needs to maybe jab in with 2 or 3 jabs to find the right distance. See, that's jab.
Yeah, looking for that chopping right hand over the top.
See, now he's walking him down. He's trying to... Maybe some good hard body shots by McElroy to the bodies to stop that momentum and that movement of Floyd. Because Floyd is all over the place. And it's causing a lot of awkwardness for McElroy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, when Floyd is able to sort of lead the dance, so to speak, I think his awkwardness and that unconventional approach, I don't say it's troubling Jaquan McElroy, but it's sort of freezing him at times.
It is. It's causing him to not throw enough punches. It's causing him to overthink. You know, you just got to let his punches go. You know, put that jab out there. Put a touch-in jab. Punches and bunches. Throw combinations. He's definitely the more disciplined guy, the more skillful guy, but he's not using those skills right now.
And this is a very close round, this second round. Floyd landing a straight left hand, although there's a nice right by McElroy.
You see now every time he doubles, triples that jab, he closes that distance, and he's able to land that right hand. See, one jab ain't gonna do it. He needs 2, 3, 4 jabs, fast jabs, touching jabs to land that right hand.
Now 10 seconds of round 2. Of course, this one scheduled for just 4 rounds. As Floyd lands a nice left hand to the body, and that may be the final word of the round.
So you ain't got to hot that all the time.
When he goes back in, he's doing this. Just do that. No, just a move. Not a move with the just move the head. Remember we working on that? Just move the head and come back with something. Got me?
This is a little bit of defense on display by Floyd as he not only blocks but slips a bunch.
Yeah. But look how awkward he comes, you know, when he attacks.
Yeah, that's part of what the kind of the narrative of this fight a little bit.
It's round 3 now underway. And Raul, you know, we're used to seeing in pro debuts, you know, oftentimes the matchmaking will schedule it such that the fighter can get a first-round knockout. You create a little bit of buzz, but how about a round like round 2 there for Jaquan McElroy, where he wasn't in any danger, but he had to make a few adjustments?
Hey, he has to work for this pro debut. It hasn't been easy for him. He's fighting a guy that, like I said at the beginning, he's got 10 fights, even though he's only won 1, but his game, he's got a lot of awkwardness. The way he attacks, it's confusing. I think it's confusing McElroy for his pro debut, but you know, he's going to learn from this. I think he's going to come through. He's going to win this fight. You could tell he's more skillful. He's faster. He's starting to close that distance with that jab. That's that double, triple jab that he needs to throw, and he needs to throw more combinations. You know, forget about trying to find one big shot.
Body work from Floyd there a moment ago.
When they look back at this match, the McElroy people, and they try to dissect, the one thing they're going to look at and realize is that the counter right hand is the thing that was available to him when Floyd is rushing in, and he just wasn't able to pull a trigger so far. There's a nice right back.
That's a good one. That one knocked Floyd off balance, and there he did it once more.
And that second one was a counter punch.
Now the right hand from McElroy coming alive here in the third round.
He needs to change the direction of that right hand. You know, throw it over the top, throw it as a lead right hand. There we go, overhand right hand. Open it wide to the body. Just change it up. He's got a really good right hand. You close that distance. He's got to be in the right distance so Ford could feel his power. Floyd feels power.
Inside the final minute here of round 3, and we talked about McElroy having to make some adjustments after round 2, and the utility of in your pro debut not just getting an outright walkover, having to go through these experiences.
Yeah, this is, you know, he might be upset after he wins a unanimous decision, you know, because you always want the knockout in your pro debut, but this is going to make him better. You know, this is what you don't want easy fights. This is going to be a learning fight. And maybe the next fight they'll give him a better opponent that's going to stand in front of him. It's not going to be as awkward as Floyd is, because he's very awkward, Corey, especially for his pro debut.
And a moment ago we saw a beautiful counter right hand by McElroy. In this round, that punch is getting there for him, so he did make the adjustment.
Final moments here of round 3. A big one for Jaquan McElroy as he lands 2 more right hands. And that one has Travis Floyd buzzed seconds before the bell.
All right, here's that big right hand that we're looking for by McElroy. Boom, over the top. You know, he's changing the direction of the right hand. Here's that big one, I think, towards the end of the round. Boom, that's the one. And I tell you what, that really buckled Floyd. He had him there, Al. He really had him. He was hurt. He might be able to land it. He's got one more round. Maybe he'll get the right distance and be able to stop him. See, Andrew Holmes trying to put some pressure on him, let you punches go, combinations. They want the knockout, trust me. I know how it is in the pro debut. You want to get the knockout, but listen, look, he's learning from this, Corey.
Well, and it must help Jaquan McElroy making that transition from amateur to pro. The fact that he's been living and training alongside very high-level pros in his brother and his longtime friend Claressa Shields for many, many years.
I mean, they expect the best. You know, this guy, he's barely getting started, and he's going to keep learning and getting better, especially when you're training alongside guys like Adriel Holmes and Claressa Shields.
There's a noticeable uptick in the tempo from McElroy right now as he lands a wicked left hook there a moment ago.
You don't always get a chance to see fights like this. You know, we have a whole card that we're showing, and you don't sometimes get to see a young man in this environment in this first fight where he's, as we pointed out, he's working through things. They gave him a pickle with a left-hander in there, and it's fun to see adjustments like this being made.
Well, and frankly, on the other side of this matchup too, Al, fighters like Travis Floyd often only exist as a line on BoxRec, but you don't see what they're providing, the job they're providing here. You know, being a 1-9-2 fighter who gets these types of assignments, they often happen in the dark.
Yeah, very well put, and they provide a valuable service in the sport of boxing.
McElroy really cranking up the pressure here in round 4. We saw a pretty heavy foot feint there a moment ago, Raul, trying to get Floyd to open up.
Yeah, some feints, some nice 1-2s. But Floyd, he's surviving. He knows how to survive. And give some back, too. I'm telling you that awkwardness is really messing with McElroy. But look, you're going to fight guys like this, your first 10, 12 fights. It might be a little bit too soon right now. He got him on his pro debut, but next time he fights an awkward guy like that, he'll be ready for him. He just landed that big right hand again.
Big pull,
he's got to be busy,
right hand.
He's got to be busy with his combinations.
Well, this has been a great round for McElroy. He's starting in after round 2, he kind of both his corner and he figured things out. And he's been dominating.
Inside the final 30 seconds of this contest. And credit to Travis Floyd, who gave Jaquan McElroy an honest night's work here in his professional debut.
Yeah, most definitely. Welcome to the pros for McElroy.
McElroy missing over the top with that right hand, and Travis Floyd, the former U.S. Marine and Morehouse College graduate, goes the distance with Jaquan McElroy in his pro debut.
A signature moment in this round, in this fight, is going to be a right hand that will get through McElroy. That was the counter right hand that we talked about him needing in this fight, and at some point he found it, and it made a big difference, and it all smiles in that corner. His brother helps him out and says, hey, nice job.
Yeah, he's got nothing to be ashamed of. He fought a tough, durable, awkward guy that probably a lot of guys would not fight for their pro debut. So he's got something to be proud of for his pro debut. And he keeps saying this, he's gonna get better from this, he's gonna learn, he's gonna go back and be like, man, I could have done this, I should have jabbed more, I should have given him more feints, more side-to-side movement, more body shots to wear him down. It's a learning process, Corey.
Well, as Al pointed out, all smiles in the corner for McElroy, for his brother Ardrell Holmes, and they'll have plenty of time to get changed, get set to watch their friend Claressa Shields in our main event against Vanessa Joanisse. You see the QR code on the left side of your screen. Our main broadcast will kick off at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time as we take a look back at some of the handiwork of Jaquan McElroy.
We see McElroy, throwing the 1-2, some feints there, trying to land. There's that jab and overhand right. That was a good one that he landed. Like I said, at times he knew how to land that right hand. There he goes again, sitting on that right hand because he prepared it by doubling with his jab. Missing there with the right hand, a little bit off distance. It's part of the game. He's got to learn how to maneuver and control the distance with opponents. It had to be different for him, fighting without a headgear, no shirt. It's the pros, but he fought a hell of a fight. Good 4 rounds, good experience for McElroy.
All right, we're ready to make this one official. Let's send it back up to Mr. Throwdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the boxers in the center of the ring. After 4 rounds of middleweight action, we take it to the judges' scorecards. Judge DeYoung scores it 40-36. Judge Delgado scores it 39-37. And Judge Gross also scores it 39-37 for your winner by unanimous decision, Jaquan King Quan McElroy.
So a big win for Jaquan McElroy in his pro debut. You heard the scores of 40-36. And credit, Al, it seems like a very small thing, but credit to the 2 judges who did give 1 round to Travis Floyd. They didn't just see, okay, this is a journeyman with an upside-down record and just phone it in. They judged the fight.
That's exactly what we want from boxing officials. And you're right. They were paying attention, and they did their job.
Let's take a look at our updated prelim fight card. Wins for Jaquan McElroy, Sammy Worthington, and Danielle Perkins. Still to come, the return of Hussam Al-Mashadi, the pride of Dearborn, Michigan, as he takes on Bruno Romay. And coming up next, the 2023 Prospect of the Year, Tito Mercado, will be taking on Hector Sarmiento. And with that, let's send it back over to Emily Austin.
Hey everyone, this was absolutely a victorious night for McElroy. First pro debut, but this was also a win for Claressa Shields. McElroy was her first signee onto her promotional boxing company. It looks like McElroy's walking this way right now. Can't say this one was a surprise, as it looked like he did dominate the fight. Hey McElroy, could have joined DAZN for a minute? Congratulations. Killed it up there. You know, they described Floyd's punches initially almost as awkward, and it seems as if it threw you off guard. But at what round did you feel like you finally made that switch?
I was really making a lot of adjustments at the end of the round because he was tiring down. But he was punching all over the place, so it was kind of confusing. But I got the count of being settled down, got the chopping it down. I did what I do to get the victory, you know?
Round 3, towards the end, you landed that hard punch to the face. Did you know that that was your fight at that point?
Yeah, I knew it was just my fight at the point, but I wish I had 10 more seconds. He would have been out of there.
You think so?
Yes, I know so.
We're excited to see more of you. Congrats again. Go celebrate. You deserve it, and we'll watch another win, hopefully, from Claressa tonight.
Yeah, most definitely she's going to get it. She's going to get it.
All right, back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Emily. A big night for Jaquan McElroy. And coming up next, as promised, the return of Tito Mercado in 10-round super lightweight action as he takes on Hector Sarmiento. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape. The 22-year-old Tito Mercado will enjoy a big height and reach advantage in this one. Mercado 15-0 with 14 knockouts, just buzzsawing through the opposition as he looks to establish himself as a true contender at 140. That journey continues tonight against Sarmiento. And we are now ready to meet the fighters. Send it back up to Pete Trevino.
The following matchup is being brought to you by Salida Promotions and 313 Presents, scheduled for 10 rounds in the super lightweight division. Your 3 judges for this matchup are David D. Young, Luis Delgado, and Vincent Santino. Now introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the green trunks trimmed in white, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, he weighed in at 138.8 pounds. He comes to the ring with a record of 21 wins and only 2 losses, with 14 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Cordoba, Argentina, ladies and gentlemen, here is Hector Pajarito Sarmiento. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed in black, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, he weighed in at 141.6 pounds. He comes to the ring undefeated with a record of 15 wins, no losses, no draws, and 14 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Pomona, California, ladies and gentlemen, here is Tito Mercado. Referee Ansel Stewart with final fight instruction.
Okay, trunks are good. Okay, gentlemen, receive your instruction in the dressing room. We're going to have a good, clean, professional fight. Touch them up.
So we are ready to get another look at Tito Mercado, the near unanimous 2023 Prospect of the Year in terms of the major boxing publications. Tonight taking on Hector Sarmiento. 14 knockouts in his 15 pro victories. Last time out, a 4-round stoppage win over Diner Barrio in Houston on Red Owl Boxing here on DAZN. Raul, in that fight, I mean, I didn't count officially, but I think Barrio threw about 5 punches in that entire fight, so he's looking for a little bit more resistance here tonight against Sarmiento.
I would think so, you know, especially a kid like Mercado. You know, you gotta not only keep him busy, but you want to, every time he fights, you want to pick up the level of opposition. You want a good test, you know. If he wants to be tested one day, he thinks he's ready for the top 140 pounders, it's not going to happen that way. So, you know, we need a better test, and hopefully Sarmiento could give him that test, Corey.
Well, Al, when it comes to blue chip prospects, we've seen them come and go throughout boxing history. Mercado certainly checks the boxes that you want one of those to check. The sparkling amateur record, the gaudy knockout numbers early in his pro career. He seems to fit the bill.
He does, and he has faced a number of former contenders like Hank Lundy, and you mentioned Barrio, and a few others, Jason Velez, and has beat them at a point where they're not at their best still, but he's getting those kind of wins. Now, Sarmiento's was once, he fought back in 2020, he fought Dennis Baranchek, who is now a WBO lightweight champion, won 12 rounds, but he has not fought since. He's been off for a long time. So the question is, how much of Sarmiento that before was a pretty good fighter is left?
Yeah, how much is left over 1,617 days that he has not been in professional action. The only man to go the distance with Ernesto Mercado, as he lands a beautiful left hook there a moment ago, is Zolasani and Dungeni, and that is not a stain on anyone's resume. He took Raymond Murataya the distance, took a thrashing from Arnold Barbosa before referee Raul Calles finally stopped it, but that is a durable, durable man.
Well, so far it's been all Tito Mercado, you know, just landing at will, landing power shots, establishing his jab, good body shots. He's having a field day so far with Sarmiento in this first round.
His body shot there from Mercado.
And the more Sarmiento tries to attack, and he has a couple times in this round, Mercado's a very good counter puncher and has scored several big knockouts with counter punches.
And Mercado has talked about being very cognizant of how he wins on the way up. It's one thing to go through the motions, to beat the journeyman, to beat the faded contenders. It's another thing to do it the way that he's been doing it, and that seems very intentional. That right hand straying a little bit low from Tito Mercado. Seconds tick away in the first round that Hector Sarmiento has fought in over 4 years. That'll do it for round one. Round two underway. Tito Mercado and Hector Sarmiento, 10-round, 140-pound action. Good 140-pounder still to come later on. Shojajon Ergashev, Michelle Rivera in action on our main broadcast.
You know, Mercado representing Pomona, California, the home of the great Richie Sandoval, bantamweight, who just passed away within the last couple of weeks. A wonderful ambassador for boxing and a great fighter.
Mercado and his father are certainly pillars of the Pomona community as well. They run a really wonderful foundation in Pomona called Gangs to Grace, where they work with at-risk teenagers, and Tito Mercado is in the gym every day working with the kids. And right now he is working on Hector Sarmiento with a nice right hand that breaks through the guard.
Yeah, that's exactly, talking about breaking through the guard, that's what Mercado needs to do with Sarmiento, because Sarmiento sometimes, you know, he covers up pretty well that frame defense, you know, kind of like Winky Wright, Arthur Abraham, and you got to go around the gloves or up the middle to open up that guard. But so far, look, I mean, he's just he's finding the right distance. He's landing big shots.
That is a stiff jab from Tito Mercado that rocks Sarmiento back, and you see the blood that was already starting to flow from the nose of Sarmiento. Just one round, is all it's taken for Tito Mercado to do that kind of damage as he goes back downstairs with a nice right hand to the body.
Like the way he's maneuvering and just controlling the distance with the jab, with a touch and jab, or he just puts the jab out there to set up his combinations, his right hands, his body shots. Very disciplined Mercado so far in this fight.
Mercado hunting for knockout number 15.
Well, it might be coming pretty soon if he keeps touching Sarmiento with those kind of shots. I see Sarmiento's body language already asking for help. You know, he's holding on and he's going into survival mode. I don't know how much. I give him maybe 2 more rounds where he's tough, but he can't keep getting that kind of punishment.
Well, that reach advantage certainly coming into play for Mercado. You see the footwork of Mercado. Raul, he can be all the way out of range. His body completely out of punching range seemingly, but he's still hitting.
Yeah, he's big for this weight class. He's long, he's tall, he's a power puncher, he's very skillful. It's hard to figure him out. You know, it's going to take a guy that knows how to apply pressure like by kind of zigzagging in, you know, like kind of like Mike Tyson does, and a lot of feints, and go to the body and stick to him. Good defense. He'll fight those guys down the line.
Big combination there from Mercado, a right hand upstairs and right along the belt line. And Sarmiento pouring blood as he heads back to his corner.
Stellar round for Mercado, and he showed a variety of punches in his attack. Throwing jabs, right hands, body work. He's got a superb left hook. And there it is. And there was also a big left hook during the course of this round that was a counter left hook, and that is one of his best weapons. Here he was on the attack against Sarmiento. That was toward the end of the round. But the hand speed, the combination impresses for Mercado.
A little bit of housekeeping, excuse me, needs to be done here as Ansel Stewart will be tasked with wiping up the water and blood covering the corner of Hector Sarmiento, courtesy of that knockout power of Tito Mercado as round 3 begins. Mercado, a 2021 Olympic alternate. We have to work in the Olympic tidbits as we have an Olympian on our broadcast too.
This is that time of year for sure, and we got a
talking
Olympian
about,
sitting right next to us here.
And you covered me there talking about the Olympics that are in Paris, France now. They had the opening ceremonies yesterday, so it's been 32 years ago that I was in the Olympics, and guess who was covering me, Corey? Al Bernstein.
I was there. Luckily, I was only 12 years old at the time.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a great memory that we share, and you were wonderful in those Olympics.
Solid shots from Mercado, and again, that amateur pedigree. You see it. He's very skillful, very relaxed. He's focused. You know, of course, he's fighting a guy that, you know, he's doing whatever he wants at any time he wants to do it. But it's part of growing, building up his record,
and, you know,
going the rounds with a guy that, you know, he tries every now and then. But you know, Mercado's he's a smarter guy. He's got the skills. He's got the goods.
Well, and this has been a pattern throughout Mercado's career. He's making guys like Sarmiento and some of the names, Al, that you mentioned earlier, guys that other fighters around this juncture of Mercado's career would not be having this kind of a night against right now. This is thorough domination.
Right. He's exceeded where others have been before him. And you know, he wants to be. There's that left hook. I'll tell you, Mercado's left hook, when a fighter starts to step in against it, is so effective.
It's a matter of time. I mean, how much longer is Sarmiento's corner going to let him take punishment like that, Corey?
Well, Mercado's trying to force the issue now. Less than a minute left to go here in round 3.
Little swelling under Mercado's left eye. Sarmiento still landing some shots, but not enough.
That's a left uppercut that just snaps the head back of Sarmiento. Looks like Sarmiento's blood landing on the scorecards, which may not be necessary in this one, guys, if it keeps up the way this one is going. And when Tito Mercado gets rolling, he is a dangerous, dangerous puncher. Hard body shot there from Mercado. Just finding a spot for it right along the belt line of Sarmiento.
I think in the next round, Mercado needs to go for the finish. When he hurts him, he needs to jump on him with flurries and just go for it. It's that time now for him.
Wicked body shot there from Mercado. You could hear that one everywhere in Little Caesars Arena.
We see the combination punching of Mercado early on in the round. And then as the round moves forward, we're going to see the left hook. That counter left hook, when a fighter comes in, is his calling card. I think that's the thing that's going to separate him. And then the round moved on, bro.
This might be it. I think the referee over there is talking to Sarmiento's corner, and I believe he said no mas.
I think we got the signal from referee Ansel Stewart. I believe this one will be over. And it is. This one is waved off, so make it 15 knockouts for Tito Mercado. Take a look at that towel. That's not courtesy of a head clash. That is pure punishment over 3 rounds.
You're right. Yeah, and that, that shows you the effectiveness, the power that Mercado has, pinpoint his accuracy. Again, he was fighting a guy that hadn't fought in a while, but like you said, a lot of guys have gone rounds with Sarmiento, and I think Mercado is doing what he's supposed to do with this kind of opponent, and he moves on, keeps learning.
Yeah, and to your point, Raul, listen, that is a clever piece of matchmaking as well. You have Sarmiento, 4 years out of the ring, but having gone the distance with a current world champion last time out.
Yes.
I mean, it's a nice line in a press release as well.
That's precisely it. And some people that would be cynical of him would look at all those veterans and say, well, he got them exactly at the time. Well, that's what you do when you're early. He knows he wants to be, he's in a very, very tough division, the best in boxing. He wants to be ranked by next year. Well, to do that, obviously he's going to have to step up his level of competition and fight a better brand of fighters, and that's what they're going to do.
See a little bit of a mouse underneath the eye of Tito Mercado getting worked on here. But the vast majority of the damage was done by Tito Mercado as we take a look back at something.
Yep. Little pull back there. Look at that strong jab, solid jab. Look how that staggered Sarmiento. That shows you the damage that Mercado did throughout the fight. Nice 1-2, then a hook, counter hook. There's that solid jab behind that straight left hand. Coming back with the jab. Great combination punching by Mercado, changing up the right hand over the top. I saw him throw it to the body, really dissecting with that jab. There goes that right hand of the body, and then coming back with the jab. Excellent presentation by Mercado.
All right, let's make this one official. Let's send it back up to Pete Trevino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the fighters in the center of the ring. At the start of the 4th round, the blue corner terminates this matchup. Therefore, your winner by TKO, Tito Mercado.
So Tito Mercado improves to 16-0, that being his 15th knockout. Again, only one man, Zolasani and Donjeni, has been able to go the distance with Mercado to this point in his career, and Mercado keeps screaming, hey, start mentioning me. amongst those big names at 140 pounds. If he keeps on doing that, certainly people will be doing that in the very near future. As we take a look at our updated prelim fight card, a big win for Tito Mercado, coming on the back of wins for Jaquan McElroy, Sammy Worthington, and Danielle Perkins. Still to come, the return of Hussam El Mashadi will be taking on Bruno Romay, and then at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, a reminder, we'll be live on DAZN. Our main event tonight, you know it, it's Claressa Shields and Vanessa Joanisse. But right now, let's send it back over to Emily Austin.
I have 2 words for this fight: bloody and domination. You dominated that fight from round 1. Lots of blood, lots of aggression. You nearly landed all of your punches. Your combos were quick and unpredictable. What was going through your mind in there? You looked very focused.
I was trying to figure out how that guy was still standing up, to be honest with you. He took some pretty big shots, and like I said, he was pretty bloody all over the place, so I was surprised he was standing up.
We were surprised as the viewers at what point the ref was going to let this go on. I mean, it seemed like your punches were very strategic. Am I right?
Yeah, no, I mean, we focused. We know the guy has kind of a high guard, so we're focusing on the body. His belt line was a little high, so that's why they were kind of maybe calling it for low blows, but we're trying to focus on the body and then take him out to the head eventually.
Do you think that your body shots here or the face shots were more effective?
Probably a little bit of both, but probably the face shots a little bit more. He was, I don't think he could breathe out of his nose.
For someone who dominated a fight, I have to say you don't look that tired. Could you have gone longer?
Oh, of course, man. I could have done a couple more fights if I wanted to.
And then last, how are you celebrating tonight?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
How are you celebrating tonight?
Man, I mean, we're gonna watch the main event. You know, I know Claressa Shields from Michigan, so I know Michigan's gonna turn up. So I think I'm gonna turn it up right here and watch the fights.
Absolutely. Thank you so much and congratulations. Back to you, Corey.
Thank you so much, Emily. Big win for Tito Mercado. And Hussam El Mashadi is looking to do the same as he takes on Bruno Romay in our next contest. 6 rounds in the middleweight division. We take a look at the tail of the tape. The El Mashadi with a big height advantage. However, and this is one of those quirks in terms of body composition, Bruno Romay much shorter than Hussam El Mashadi, but will enjoy a 1-inch reach advantage in this one. Romay, a big underdog, looking to upset the pride of Dearborn Heights, Michigan, Hussam El Mashadi. And this is Bruno Romay waiting in the ring for his opponent. Last time out, we saw him stopped in the first round by Tamir Smalls. That was in February of this year in Philadelphia. He has been stopped in 5 of his last 6 fights, all in 3 rounds or less. That said, they have come at the hands of notable fighters like Senag Beko, like Joseph Hicks, and Ahmad El-Biali. So the assignment's not getting a whole lot easier for Bruno Romay here tonight.
Not the body, not the body. Just the face.
Romay having to wait a little bit for the entrance of Hussam El Mashadi. Raul, when you're a fighter in this position where you're kind of being made to wait a little bit, I mean, what does that do for you?
It's not a good position, you know, having to wait. Nobody wants to be waiting, Corey. I mean, he's probably warmed up. He was ready to go. He's pumped up. He's ready to give this young guy a test, whatever test he's going to give him. I mean, he is 36 years of age, so we'll see what happens. Seems like El Mashadi has disappeared, or they can't find El Mashadi.
Maybe he's taking his time.
Maybe he's taking his time.
as we wait for our next contest between Hassan Al-Mashadi and Bruno Leonardo Romay, let's talk about what's coming up a little bit later on here, guys, as the audience filling in, the crowd filling in here at Little Caesars Arena. Last time out, Al, over 11,000 people in attendance to see Claressa Shields. She comes back to this arena. And again, this is one of those fight communities where people show up early, but they're certainly showing up to see Claressa.
Well, that's what our series is all about, isn't it? We've been here in Detroit, and you guys have been here where boxing has such a rich tradition, and it has been a big part of bringing that sport back. And Claressa Shields, of course, a major player here. In terms of everything, we've talked about the fact that she's getting involved in promotion, and this town appreciates world champions, and she is clearly a major face in women's boxing, and the person who is helping lead this tremendous renaissance of women's boxing.
All right, Hassan Al-Mashadi, he's gracing us with his presence. Let's take a look.
Had a blitz out the window. Get that nigga drop. We whacking witch for the man. Through my Bentley right on. Did a turn around and get the road and get New Jersey. A nigga caught a case that's the body Mrs. Heron. The fed man in the hood for like 2 weeks getting serious. 40 collar keeping by that pussy nigga. Ain't no in between, you either solid or you fake. 100 on my eye stone, master break. Fuck up that, ain't got time to hug it. I saw my dick go on, I'm a lean sipping nigga. Jury on my thumb, motivate the trench, turn the center to a nun. Brick 21. My God.
All right, Hassan Al-Mashadi, Bruno Romay in the ring. Let's meet the fighters. Let's send it back up to Pete Trevino.
Here we go, fight fans. The following matchup is being brought to you by Salida Promotions and 313 presents, scheduled for 6 rounds in the super welterweight division. The 3 judges for this matchup are David DeYoung, Rose Gross, and Vincent Santino. Now introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks trimmed in white, standing 5 feet 8.5 inches tall, he weighed in at 156.8 pounds. He comes to the ring with a record of 22 wins and 13 losses, with 19 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Buenos Aires, Argentina, ladies and gentlemen, here is Bruno El Zar Romay. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed in baby blue. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, he weighed in at 155.6 pounds. He comes to the ring representing Dark Side Boxing. He holds a record of 9 wins and only 1 loss, with 8 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Dearborn Heights, Michigan, ladies and gentlemen, here is Hussam Lionheart Al-Mashadi. Referee Patrick Schmidt with final fight instruction.
Okay, gentlemen, you've had your instructions in the back. Let's have a good, clean fight. When I say break, take a nice step back. Touch them up, come out at the bell. Good luck.
So 6 rounds in the middleweight division. Coming your way here between Hassan Al-Mashadi and Bruno Romay. Al-Mashadi from nearby Dearborn Heights, Michigan. We saw him on Big Time Boxing USA doing something just like that earlier this year. Al-Mashadi looking for his 2nd straight first-round knockout here on this series, and he is dancing already.
He's flamboyant. He likes showmanship. He likes to show off. Oh, nice body shot by Al-Mashadi.
Romay, victim of many early stoppages recently, and this may be another one. And that is it. Hassan El-Mashadi, first round knockout.
Well, he took his time getting here, but didn't waste any time finishing this fight.
You're right about that, Al.
I think El-Mashadi might have danced for longer than he had to fight in this fight.
Possibly.
I'll tell you what, that first knockdown, I don't know if you guys saw when he did catch, when he caught him with his left hook, I believe he did catch an overhand right by the Argentinian guy, Romay. Here we see the first knockdown. Go to the body. Let's see that right hand over the top that caught El-Mashadi in his chin. And here we see the second one working the body, going over the top. It was just too strong and just overwhelming Romay. Hey, he did what he was supposed to do. He took care of business. Another big win for El-Mashadi.
Over 120 amateur fights for Hassan El-Mashadi, multi-time national amateur champion. As you mentioned, just one loss on his record. That came to Rance Ward in Toledo last year. But El-Mashadi already working towards scrubbing off that stain on his resume. And doing so with 2 straight first-round knockouts. Let's make this one official. Let's set it back up to Pete Trevino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a round of applause together for both of the fighters in the center of the ring. This matchup came to a halt at 56 seconds of the first round for your winner by way of knockout, Hassan Lionheart El-Mashadi.
So Hassan El-Mashadi improves to 10-1. Another knockout victory for the 21-year-old from Dearborn Heights. He learned the sport in the El-Mashadi family garage and backyard, which is a full boxing gym. Must be nice to be able to grow up with not just a heavy bag in the basement, with a full gym in the garage in the backyard.
How could you avoid boxing? I mean, you're forced to box. I mean, when you walk out into your garage, you got to hit the heavy bag and be ready to spar at all times.
Well, let's take a look at our updated fight card for our prelims here from Detroit, Michigan. See Hassan El-Mashadi with that first-round KO over Bruno Romay. Ernesto Mercado picking up another win over Hector Sarmiento, Jaquan McElroy, and Sammy Worthington, the new signees to Claressa Shields' promotional outfit. Both pick up victories here tonight. Kicking things off, Danielle Perkins with a unanimous decision win over Christiane Fahey, setting the table for the women's heavyweight action to come in our main event a little bit later on. But Hassan El-Mashadi is standing by with our Emily Austin.
First of all, congratulations are in due. I have to say, it looks like you did more dancing in there than fighting. Did you think this fight would play out so quickly?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah, I trained really hard, so I knew if I pressed the action from early on out, he wasn't gonna last, you know. He is a crafty veteran. He do got a lot of fights, but I'm young, I'm healthy. I want all the smoke. I'm handsome. I had to show out a little bit in there.
Well, this is a win in your state. You're from Michigan. How does that feel?
Feels good, I came here to show out, it's from the walkout to the fight, you feel me? So that's all me, for all my home fans, all the people that came out to see me and bought tickets. I appreciate all the support.
And of course, you have a lot of fans. It seems like you have a entourage of fans right behind you. Who's everyone here?
Yeah, it's my people, So my people that came out from the city, they wanted to get as close as possible. So as soon as the tickets dropped, they got them and there was no regrets. I'm happy they came.
Are you hanging around for the main card tonight?
Oh, definitely, of course.
You want to share your predictions with us?
I think Claressa gonna stop her. I really think Claressa gonna stop her. She moved up, so she probably got a lot more power at this weight class. So I feel like it's gonna be a stoppage.
And then lastly, this is your state. You have to celebrate tonight. Are you gonna go out with these guys behind us?
I'm more of a family man, so I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna spend time with my family and just end off the night like that.
What's next for you?
bigger and better things. You know, we stepping it up. My next fight is gonna have people on their toes for sure.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations again. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Emily. So we have some bonus action coming your way here. The return of Gordy Russ, who we saw on the Bam Rodriguez, Sonny Edwards undercard, dropping an 8-round decision to Junaid Boston, the Matchroom prospect tonight, taking on Josiah Shackelford, who we've seen here on Big Time Boxing USA as we take a look at our tale of the tape. You see, Russ and Shackelford equal in terms of height. Gordy Russ will enjoy a slight reach advantage in this one. A big step up in opposition for Josiah Shackelford here tonight as he takes on Gordy Russ, who certainly showed his skill level in what was an extremely competitive loss to Junaid Boston. And there is Josiah Shackelford, who we saw on Big Time Boxing USA, stopping Jashar Banks earlier on this year. And he actually had a concert at the MGM Grand Casino the day before. But his focus is solely on Gordy Russ here tonight. Let's introduce the fighters. Let's send it back up to Pete Trevino.
And here we go, Salida Promotions fight fans. The following matchup is the Battle for Detroit. Brought to you by Salida Promotions and 313 presents, scheduled for 6 rounds in the super welterweight division. Your 3 judges for this matchup are Luis Delgado, Rose Gross, and Vincent Santino. Now introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed in gold. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, he weighed in at 155.2 pounds. He comes to the ring with a record of 3 wins and 2 losses, with 2 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, ladies and gentlemen, here is Josiah Mighty Joe Shackelford. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the gold trunks trimmed in red. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, he weighed in at 153.4 pounds. He comes to the ring with a record of 6 wins and only 1 loss, with all 6 big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, ladies and gentlemen, here is Gordy G. Baby Russ II. Referee Ansel Stewart with final fight instruction.
Okay, gentlemen, you receive your instruction. The trunk is a little high right here. I'm gonna go right here on the bell button, okay? I want to have a good, clean, professional fight. Touch them up. Let's go at the bell.
So here we go, an all-Detroit showdown here in this 6-round, 154-pound contest between Gordy Russ II and Josiah Shackelford. And both these men coming off of losses where they were still impressive, where I think their stock went up in both cases. Shackelford last time out going 6 rounds with the 7-0 Jonas Sylvan. Gordy Russ, we mentioned his performance in Phoenix against Junaid Boston. And Al, sometimes you do see that, even in losing efforts, you learn something about fighters.
Absolutely, and if it's possible to have a crossroads fight this early in a career when they're at this level, this is kind of what this is. A really good local dust-up of 2 fighters who really want to win, and Shackelford going to town here early.
Shackelford has told us over the last year or so, he really prides himself on his ability to pressure fighters. He likes to be able to walk guys down, and you're seeing just all-out pressure from Mighty Joe here in the opening round.
Yeah, you're right. He's very confident in the way he attacks. You know, he didn't waste no time. He's sticking to Russ like glue. He's imposing his will. He's pushing him back, and he's having a good round so far. Working behind a good jab. I saw some good body shots by Shackelford.
Nice
good overhand right, yeah.
Wow. Good right hand from Shackelford here early.
He's trying to take Russ's heart early on.
When you looked at this fight on the paper, you said, you know what, this could be really intriguing, and it is.
Yeah, this is just a flat-out slugfest here in the early going.
Well,
nice right hand. That one might have wobbled Shackelford momentarily, but he's coming right back.
Yeah, I think it did, you know, but he's making it hard. He's giving Russ no room to breathe. He's not giving him any space. He needs to continue with that pressure.
Well, the way this fight is going here early is made more interesting by the fact that this is a swing bout. These guys were kind of supposed to be perpetually ready here tonight. They didn't know when they were walking. And typically in that situation, you see a little bit of a slower start. Instead, we have Russ and Shackelford just going at it here in the opening 2 minutes.
Well, I think that was Shackelford's mentality from the get-go. You know, that's his game plan. To start off the bat, and he's doing a great job of doing it in this first round. I guarantee you, Russ didn't expect that.
No.
He didn't expect for Shackelford to jump on him that quick. I mean, he cut the distance very fast. You know, with the jab, just has confidence in himself. See, every time he backs up and he gives Russ room, he gets hit. So he needs to stay on him, keep that distance short. Nice short uppercuts up the middle that keeps landing. He's got to be in great shape to keep that kind of momentum going, and he is in that kind of shape because we've seen him in the past. He's nonstop action. Let's see if Russ could take that heat.
Closing moments of what has been an entertaining opening round between Gordy Russ and Josiah Shackelford.
Don't trade punch for punch, man. Okay, after you do the 1-2 hook, now I need you to jab, left hook, right hand. Keep shooting down the middle. The first thing you know when you went out there, is drop your hands. Put your fucking hands up, man. I want you to have fun. I don't want you to get hit, keep getting hit. Have fun, put your fucking hands up, and that's fine. Just let your hands go. That's it.
Well, we mentioned that Shackelford, a professional musician, he made some sweet music in that first round, pressuring Gordy Russ and just putting it on him against the ropes, overhand rights. Not everything getting there, but he landed quite a few big shots. And, Raul, you're right. I don't think Russ expected that.
No, he's got to wake up.
Round 2 underway. You saw the all-star cast in the corner of Gordy Russ. Jonathan Banks, former trainer, of heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko. Tony Harrison, former world champion, a man who Gordy Russ refers to as his big brother. A lot of terrific guidance in the corner of Gordy Russ, but he's got a motivated Josiah Shackelford right on his chest again, the same place he was to begin the fight.
Honestly, I think Shackelford, seeing the kind of fighter's corner he has in his team, Russ, you know, is motivating him to try to stay on him and beat him. At the end of the day, Russ needs to listen to his corner, and so far it doesn't look like he's doing what they want him to do, because there goes Shackelford coming forward. He can't afford to give him space. Every time he gives him room, you see Russ be successful with a nice 1-2 down the middle. So he's got to crowd him, he's got to smother him, take some of that power away.
Russ is trying to come forward here in this round, as you point out, landing some good shots, but Shackelford's not giving way.
Nice right hand there from Shackelford, and another one, now backing up Gordy Russ. We've got an all-Detroit banger brewing right here as Gordy Russ comes back with a monstrous uppercut, and Shackelford comes over the top of the right hand. Russ just trying to find some space to operate, but he's finding himself getting rocked with right hands instead.
When we saw Shackelford on our series, and we commented at the time, he will throw as many right hands as he possibly can, and he is landing them.
Russ is in trouble right now as he wobbles against the ropes. The right hands just keep on coming from Mighty Joe.
Shackelford just keeps closing that distance. Every time Russ backs up, he's making the mistake of standing up too tall, and he gets hit by a 1-2 by Shackelford. Look at Shackelford bumping him off. He's a smart fighter. He knows what he's doing in there.
The problem for Russ is when he lands big power punches that should push Shackelford off of him, it doesn't.
Russ misses over the top with one big right hand, and Shackelford comes back with a flurry. Oh, he walks right into a beautiful uppercut from Gordy Russ, who might have Shackelford hurt.
Well, the crowd really is getting into this. This is what they pay to see. Action fight. Wow!
Well, were there any highlights in that last round? I don't know how we could find some. Well, Shackelford with the pressure, continuing the pressure. And we talked about how could Russ turn it around? How could he do that? Well, he started to. He started landing big shots like that right hand, an uppercut he had landed as well, and he got Shackelford in trouble. And this is how the round ended, with a pitched battle. And that's the big uppercut that started the turnaround for Russ, and then he was able to do great work. What a tremendous round of boxing.
So round 3 underway in what, Al, I think you correctly described as kind of an early career crossroads bout between two Detroit rivals who have been going at it here, Gordy Russ and Josiah Shackelford. Both men have been hurt. Both men seemingly have landed their best shot. We still have plenty of time to go. Hard right hand on the top from Shackelford. Shackelford's corner telling him he's hurt, he's hurt. They feel that Shackelford might have an opportunity here, but we've seen this before.
He's got to be careful, Shackelford, when he attacks. You don't want to get caught with that uppercut by Russ. Russ is trying to time him. Russ is looking for openings. But I'm telling you, that momentum and that pressure that Shackelford has is making it hard for Russ.
You know, Russ is probably the technically more proficient fighter, even though Shackelford is not without skill. But Shackelford's will, indomitable will, and that ridiculous right hand has just been too much for him.
Yeah, the volume of Shackelford has been there. And we saw about 20 seconds ago, Shackelford was just flurrying to the body as Gordy Russ was talking to referee Ansel Stewart. Shackelford has just been dogged in his pressure and his focus.
So Russ needs to do, he needs to use his speed, use his jab, control the distance, turn him around. He's standing too much in front of Shackelford. That's why he's getting punished. And he shouldn't go toe-to-toe with Shackelford, because Shackelford gets the best out of him the whole time he goes toe-to-toe.
There's that uppercut that turned things around for Russ in the last round. He landed it and then brought a sweeping right hand behind it. But it's the right hand from Shackelford again that rocks Russ back against the ropes.
Man, back and forth action, but it's still Shackelford getting the best out of Russ.
Well, Shackelford's motor is amazing, and the question will be whether he can do this over 6 rounds. Now, as you point out, we saw him in a previous fight do that. So, if he can, he might have his way in this match.
Thing is, can Russ keep up with that momentum, with that pace? Exactly. Oh, he just got
another right hand from Shackelford. 2, 3 of them. 10 seconds remaining in this round. As Josiah Shackelford is having the fight of his life here tonight.
Here's another good round for Shackelford. Keeps that momentum going. Look at that overhand right that Russ took. 2 overhand rights. Shackelford sent it up with the jab. He missed again with the right hand. He's just busy in there. He's busier. He's persistent with that pressure. He keeps coming. He keeps pushing him. He's in great shape. He's confident. That's that right hand I was talking about. Russ needs to find a way to get away from that right hand. He's not even blocking it or trying to go underneath that right hand. Got countered again, missed a 1-2 Russ, and then he got hit by right hand by Shackelford. It was all Shackelford in that round.
Well, guys, let's recontextualize what we're seeing here, because we have, of course, this is a Detroit rivalry, but we have one guy in Josiah Shackelford. Yes, a Detroit Golden Gloves champion. He started boxing at the age of 27. He's taking on a guy in Gordy Russ with Detroit boxing royalty cornering him here tonight. What Shackelford is doing is clearly not what was expected.
Now, you knew he was going to be in this fight, but for him to be controlling it like this is really surprising. And you know, Russ has 6 knockouts in his 6 wins. He's going to need that power now to turn this fight around.
Man, it looks like Shackelford is going for the finish. He's busier now. Throwing punches and bunches. There's no slowing down on Shackelford. He's got to tuck that chin in. Sometimes he tends to get a little bit excited and wild with his shots.
Russ's big opportunity, and he almost landed one before, and there it is that uppercut. But boy, he's getting raked over the coals again with those right hands.
Nice body shot there from Russ. You'd have to think he's going to need something big to turn the tide here.
Well, so far, he can't hurt Shackelford. He can't stop his momentum, his pressure.
In a fighter like Shackelford, you have to back him up at some point, and Russ has had a hard time doing it.
Or be a really good boxer where you're giving him angles and attacking from different sides and not standing in front of him like he does. Look, he's giving Shackelford everything he needs and he wants, and Shackelford is taking advantage of it. He's keeping him in the corner right there, good body shots. And he's trying to go toe-to-toe with Shackelford. Turn him, move to the right, move to the left, turn him in circles. There you go, he kind of turned him there a little bit more. Move to the left, move to the right. He's tired, I think Russ is tired.
Huge right hand again there from Shackelford as Russ is trying to find those uppercuts on the inside.
Shackelford coming with the angles now.
And you know, it's not as if Russ isn't producing offense. It's just not quite enough.
Russ trying to find a little bit of bounce in his step. Again, trying to find room to operate. But then when he does get to the inside and work those uppercuts, there's a nice left hook from Russ and a right hand from him as well.
But Shackelford comes right back.
Closing moments of round 4, a better one for Gordy Russ, but still big moments for Josiah Shackelford.
Well, early on in the round, we see Shackelford doing what he has done, which is be very aggressive and continue throwing those overhand rights. He is just committed to that punch. From the first moment we saw him, he was, and we see it again here tonight.
So 2 to go in what has been a fantastic fight between Gordy Russ and Josiah Shackelford. As Shackelford comes right out firing that right hand.
Nice jab, too, by Shackelford.
Doesn't it feel like we've had more than 4 rounds in this fight? We're in the 5th round, and it feels like it could be the 8th.
I mean, in the first 2 rounds alone, we saw momentum shifts. We saw both men hurt.
Oh.
A big right hand again there from Shackelford. Both men missed just barely with their right hands just prior to that.
I like that Shackelford throws his combinations, whether he's going to the bottom or on top, and then he finishes with the jab. Watch that double jab at the end to set up his right hand. There's that jab. He's still, controlling the fight in some kind of way with the jab, with the long jab. And he keeps pushing Russ back.
Remember, Shackelford fought in July of this year. He's very, very busy for a guy who basically just started his professional career. There's Gordy Russ with that uppercut. He landed a shot that was very nearly a fight ender earlier on tonight. But does that shot have the same zip that it had in round 2?
I don't think it does. I think he's worn down. I think he looks tired. I think Shackelford is breaking him. Shackelford might have taken his heart away already. He's trying, but too slow. And you see Shackelford, the smarter fighter now.
All of what we've seen of Josiah Shackelford several times is just indomitable will. He just wants to impose his will on you. And it's not without technique. He's got a really good jab. The overhand right is great. So there's a lot to recommend him. And Russ, who's a very good fighter, is just finding it hard.
See how he touches it with the jab. He pushes Russ with the jab to set up his right hand and his combinations. There's that jab again. Overhand right. I mean, he's doing what he has to do. He's taking care of business.
And Russ has had some better moments in this round, but they have been few and far between.
I think to your point, Al, obviously, we're seeing Shackelford do some good things technically. We're seeing the head movement, obviously the right hand. But I think what we're seeing is Shackelford besting a man with persistence and with fitness.
Exactly.
And more power on his shots, too, than Russ.
Nice pull counter right hand from Shackelford. That'll be the closing moment of the round.
There's some more action there by Shackelford. Look at those big bombs. Controlling the fight again with the jab, then moving again with the other side with the jab. There's that power and jab, 2 or 3 jabs right in his face. Set up the right hand. He keeps landing those bombs.
Right uppercut, left hook behind him, okay? You got it? You're doing a great job. This is my round. This is your round. Still round 6, baby. Keep your hands up. Don't be caught with nothing stupid, baby. Let's go, Joe.
Sixth and final round here between Gordy Russ and Josiah Shackelford. And guys, when I spoke to Gordy Russ before his fight against Junaid Boston in December to get kind of his outlook on boxing, he said, I look for knockouts, nothing else. That's what matters to me. He might need one here in the 6th and final round.
And he is getting raked over the coals by Shackelford.
He's not getting knocked out himself, Corey. Man, I love the way he threw those fast, explosive combinations. Talking about Shackelford, then landed that big, powerful right hand. There it goes again.
Trade right hands. As Gordy Russ is going to need something big, you'd have to think, here in the 6th and final round.
Well, as you aptly pointed out, he wants knockouts. Every win he's had has been by knockouts, Russ. And yes, he might need it.
Shackelford just missing with that right hand again. Shackelford's corner reminding him, just keep jabbing. And I think because of the concussive nature of these right hands, Al, we maybe haven't talked about the Shackelford jab enough because it has been just percussive all night long.
You are reading my mind. Since the first time we saw him on Big Fights USA Boxing, Big Time USA Boxing, we have seen the evolution of his jab be better, and man, it is good tonight.
Splitting the guard of Gordy Russ again. And there were times earlier in this fight too, Raul, where it seemed like Russ was trying to do that. He's trying to parry the jab, trying to just block the jab with his power hand, and Shackelford is just breaking through again and again.
Yes, that pressure, you know, the Shackelford's pressure. He's stronger. He's got a better jab, and also that mental pressure. You know, Russ is warned what he's trying to do something here, trying to pull out something out of his pocket at the last minute, but Shackelford still coming forward, banging the body all over Russ. Has him on the ropes.
Final 30 seconds of this contest.
Like, man, how do I get Shackelford off of me?
And you know, this fight, we don't know how it's going to be judged, but if Shackelford needed the round to cement a win, he's done it here in this round.
Another right hand rocks Russ back. See blood coming from the mouth of Gordy Russ. What a fight!
All the way to the end.
Fucking go, Joe! Come go! Yeah, baby! Okay, go! Okay, go!
Oh, what a moment for Josiah Shackelford, who might have just picked up a career-changing victory.
There was so much action in that last round, most of it coming from Shackelford, who threw combinations, and what else? The right hand, which he threw consistently, and he made Russ's night so difficult with that punch. Astonishing performance by him and both fighters.
I agree.
When you think about what 6 rounders between Detroit fighters would have looked like at Cobo Hall back in the 80s and 90s, that's what those fights looked like.
Precisely. That is exactly what they look like, and that's why the tradition of boxing in this town is so rich.
Right, that is a well-matched local slugfest between Gordy Russ and Josiah Shackelford. And it looks like we are moments away from the decision. It is in the hands of Pete Trevino, so let's send it back up to Mr. Throwdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the boxers in the center of the ring. After 6 rounds of super welterweight Detroit boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Delgado, Judge Gross, and Judge Santino, all 3 are in agreement and score this matchup. 59-55, your winner by unanimous decision, Josiah Mighty Joe Shackelford.
An incredible moment for Mighty Joe. Josiah Shackelford takes this fight on relatively short notice, and he pulls the upset, a stunner here in the Motor City. As we take a look at our updated prelim fight card, Josiah Shackelford with the upset win over Gordy Russ, Hussam Al-Mashadi. You saw him with that first round, a KO victory. Tito Mercado victorious over Hector Sarmiento. Jaquan McElroy with the unanimous decision over Travis Floyd. Sammy Worthington victorious over Adina Kiss. And Danielle Perkins with a win over Christiane Fahey. But now, more bonus action. Cameron Pankey in action against Shalik Paisley. Cameron Pankey, we've seen here on Big Time Boxing USA in the past on the wrong end of what was a stunner, much like Shackelford and Gordy Russ. But let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this one. Cameron Pankey and Shalik Paisley. Pankey will be giving up plenty in the way of height and reach in this one, but the 25-year-old Pankey, a heavy favorite in this featherweight contest.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The following matchup is being brought to you by Salida Promotions. 313 presents in association with Pulse Boxing. Scheduled for 6 rounds in the featherweight division. Your 3 judges for this matchup are David D. Young, Luis Delgado, and Rose Gross. Now introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black and red trunks, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, he weighed in at 120 pounds. He comes to the ring with an even record of 4 wins and 4 losses, with 3 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Charlotte, North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, here is Shalik Cutthroat Paisley. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the purple trunks trimmed in gold. Standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, he weighed in at 123.4 pounds. He comes to the ring representing Pulse Boxing. He holds a record of 9 wins and only 1 loss, with 4 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Pontiac, Michigan, here is the fighting pride of Pontiac, Cameron the Problem Pankey. Referee Patrick Schmidt with final fight instruction.
Okay, gentlemen, you had your instructions. Let's have a good, clean fight. Come out when the bell rings. Good luck. Touch them up.
So here we go, 6 rounds in the super bantamweight division. Cameron Pankey and Shalik Paisley added to our prelim broadcast. We've got no extra fights to give you guys, sorry.
What number is this, Corey?
We're on fight number 7 of the prelims here. And of course, we welcome you to join us on the main broadcast at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
We've emptied everything. Here we are. We're good. And that last one was worth the whole night, wasn't it?
Well, Cameron Pankey has been in this exact scenario in the past. In fact, in February of this year, he was on the wrong end of a true shocker, a loss at the hands of Juan Martinez, who came in on 24 hours notice. Remember that one, Raul? Less than 24 hours notice. Juan Martinez was sleeping in the locker room because he flew in the day of.
Yeah, he was getting medical tests early in the morning, got in late, and it was an unbelievable performance by Juan Martinez where he upset the local Pankey. You know, he didn't expect that kind of war. You know, Juan Martinez had a lot of heart. He kept coming. He was in great shape and found a way to beat up Pankey that night.
Pankey looking to bounce back here tonight. Shalik Paisley, last time out, went the full 6 rounds with the 12-0-1 Rene Palacios. Big right hand over the top there from Pankey.
Paisley's tall. He needs to use that reach advantage, that long jab, but he's pressuring. He's pressuring Pankey. You would think Pankey would be the one that's trying to get underneath his jab, but it's the other way around. Pankey's the one that is trying to box and move side to side. And I don't know, maybe because he remembers that fight with Juan Martinez. Maybe he's trying to save himself for the later rounds because Martinez really made him work early on, Corey.
Yeah, and sometimes shorter fighters can be the counterpuncher that can work on the back foot as well, and Pankey is doing a decent job here in the opening round. Nice right hand connects there from Pankey.
Yeah, so far it's working for him. He's using that jab, and he keeps turning Paisley, not standing in the line of fire. You know, Paisley barely misses that straight left hand because Panky moves to the right. It doesn't stand right in front of him. Look, Paisley's trying to land that left hand, but you can see Paisley measuring and looking for it, and all he has to do is take a little step to the right, and he won't be able to get hit by that left hand. Good counter right hand. We know that's the way to beat the lefty. Right hands, left hooks. Paisley's Panky, doing an excellent job of boxing him.
Body shot again there from Panky.
Opening wide with that right hand.
That'll do it for round 1. Round 2 underway. Our final bout of our prelim broadcast between Cameron Panky and Shalik Paisley. This one made at a catch weight just above 122 pounds. Paisley given a little bit of leeway on the scale, came in at 123.5. Cameron Panky weighed in at 120.
Nice 1-2 there by Paisley. He needs to keep using that distance. Every time he uses that long jab, wait for Panky to come in. Sooner or later, Panky's going to have to come in. He is the shorter guy. And there you see, he's coming in now. He's a smart fighter, the way he attacks. Talking about Panky, good body shot there, pushing Paisley out of the way.
Yeah, and Panky has a tricky, he's defensively responsible fighter in front of him, too.
But he's fast with his footwork. He's in and out. If he needs to attack, he knows how to land his shots and prepare that right hand like to the body. You see right there, he opens up. I like the way he opens up wide to the body with his right hand. A lot of fighters do not like to do that, or scared or intimidated by doing that because they're afraid they're going to get hit. But I'm telling you, it's going to work. You got to come in and drive and knock the other fighter off balance, and it's working for Panky, Corey.
Paisley not able to get much going offensively thus far. We mentioned the fight against Rene Palacios last time out for Shalik Paisley. A bit of a surprising result, even in going the distance. The 6-round distance was very competitive. One judge had that fight within 1 round.
Panky just caught him with a big right hand that hurt Paisley, kind of buckled his knees.
Paisley came right
back. I noticed it, but I noticed it. I'm telling you, it caught his attention for sure. And there goes that right hand again by Panky. I like the way he changes the direction of the right hand. He keeps touching, he keeps preparing with the jab. And watch the way he throws that right hand. He opens up wide, he opens up over the top. He knows how to change it up. It's good.
Another counter right hand there from Panky as he digs downstairs to the body. And if indeed Paisley was hurt to the body earlier in the round, those shots are not helping his cause. Another sweeping right hand there from Panky.
Yeah, they work all the time. I'm telling you, he's being very successful with that sweeping right hand. And you see Paisley carrying his chin up high up in the air. Watch when he backs up. Nice. For Paisley to try to land that overhand right.
And one final right hand from Panky right at the bell. It's round 3 underway. Cameron Pankey and Shalik Paisley, we'll see.
Ooh, there's that overhand right.
Everything working for Pankey in round 2. Seemed like he had Paisley hurt to the body, but it was those sweeping overhand rights that were just money for Pankey all round long. Nice left hook from Pankey on the inside. Pankey, a big ticket seller here in the Detroit region, from nearby Pontiac, Michigan, where the Silver Dome once was. Right hand to the body, right along the belt line there from Cameron Pankey. And you saw the elbow kind of tuck in a little bit there, Raul,
Yeah,
after feeling
Paisley.
that body shot.
Oh, yeah, and I think, it was a delayed reaction, actually, from that body shot. Sometimes, you land those body shots, and you might not see a reaction by the fighter right away. Might take 2 or 3 seconds, and then you kind of see him buckle a little bit and back up. That's because that body shot hurt him.
I think Pankey saw that as well. He is ramping up the pressure here, coming to the inside. He lands a nice uppercut a moment ago.
Yeah, beautiful explosive combinations by Pankey. Fighting really smart. Everything off the jab. He's thinking in there. He's a thinking man.
Well, one of the things you're looking for if you're a supporter of Cameron Pankey in this fight is, what does his confidence level look like visually? Coming off what he experienced against Juan Martinez, a really shocking upset win. I don't think you're seeing a dip in confidence from Pankey here tonight.
Not at all. I mean, he's got nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, look, in that fight with Martinez, he gave it his all. He might have run out of gas. That's probably the only reason why Martinez won that fight. But besides that, I mean, look, I see a lot of talent here in Pankey. The feints, good footwork, explosive combinations, dictating everything with his jab, setting up his combinations with his jab, the right hand that we talked about, the sweeping right hand, the lead right hand, the overhand right hand. He's a good little fighter, Corey. I like his style.
He's putting everything together here in round 3. A right hand missed, that left hook did not, and now he goes right back downstairs, but
and
a little bit south of downstairs.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Paisley was just using an excuse. It might have been a little bit low, but not right where it hurts.
That's counter
Maybe
left
close
hand
to it.
there from Paisley a moment ago. But the offense has been very sporadic from the man from Mooresville, North Carolina, as Cameron Pankey back on the attack in the closing moments of the round. And the quote is entering the building. Claressa Shields arriving in Little Caesars Arena, where tonight she will go after the WBC heavyweight title. The champion, Vanessa Joanisse, putting her title on the line. The WBO's light heavyweight title also on the line here tonight. A major moment for Claressa Shields coming up a little bit later on. That broadcast begins at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, it's the big moment for Cameron Pankey to bounce back from his first career loss here on Big Time Boxing USA. And he is really doing a number on Shalik Paisley thus far. An impressive performance from the pride of Pontiac, Michigan.
Yeah, so far it's been all Pankey, and I think he's trying to go for the finish. I really think so. I see more aggressiveness on him. He's cutting the distance more. He's sticking more to Paisley. He's looking for the knockout for him.
Right hand right to the chest there from Panky. Now, during the tail of the tape, during the opening kind of moments of this fight, Raul, we talked about the disadvantage that Panky was working with in terms of height and reach. That hasn't really played a factor whatsoever in this fight.
Not at all. I mean, he's controlling the fight when he comes forward. He's controlling the fight at long distance, which you think Paisley, that would favor Paisley, but I mean, that shows you what kind of fighter Panky is, right? I mean, he's a well-rounded fighter. He could attack. He's aggressive. He lands some good body shots, but he could also fight from the outside. He's got good boxing skills. He's a smart guy. He's a thinking fighter in there. Beautiful combination. Not all of them landed, you know, but he's creating openings for that. And there's that opening that I'm talking about, that overhand right. Look how he touches him with the jab. Look at that right hand again. Look how comfortable how he is, you know, very slick, you know, pulling back, making a miss. You don't see a lot of fighters do that. That's speed. That's eye coordination.
Well, you've been pointing out the right hand of Panky, and going back about 30 seconds, you know, Panky was kind of looping that shot. Paisley was catching it, but really what he was looking for is to kind of train Paisley's eye to look for that shot. Then he throws it right down the middle, and it lands flush. I don't know, 30 seconds here of round 4.
Oh, nice counter. Look at now using his jab as a counter, like counter check hook to land that right hand. I love the way he varies his combinations. There he goes, digging to the body again, that right hand, and over the top with the left hook. There's that overhand right. Just showing, you know, varying his combinations.
Another dominant round for Cameron Panky, and one last left hook right at the bell.
He's happy going back to the corner with a big smile.
Watch out for straight lefts, Cam. That's all you got hit with all day. Straight lefts, that's it.
Time.
A little bit too much moisture in the corner of Shalik Paisley. And we can get our round underway. 2 to go here in this one between Cameron Panky and Shalik Paisley. Final bout of the preliminary portion of our broadcast. And I think Shalik Paisley has realized that he's going to need something big, because he is definitely down 4-0 in this fight, Raul.
Most definitely. It's been a complete dominance by Spanky. Panky, not Spanky. There's too many. You got Paisley, you got Panky, and I'm making up Spanky.
He's been putting a spanking on Shalik
there
Paisley.
You go.
There, I wrapped it up for you.
Thank you. But yeah, it's been complete dominance by Panky, just showing his different styles that he brings to the table. And you're right. You know, Paisley. Oh, that was a hit, but Paisley tried.
Flash ahead.
He tried at the beginning, but that was it. You know, now he's back to the same fighting style. You know, he's waiting, he's holding back, and it's all Panky with all the activity. There you go.
That one rocked Paisley. The right hand with a left hook right behind it. And Paisley grabs a hold.
Yeah, every time he lands those shots now, Panky, you could see Paisley folding. He's tired. He's wearing them out with those body shots. He's feeling those body shots now. As the rounds go, he feels those shots. They get heavier. They hurt more. He's setting up. He's looking. That's that overhand right. He's looking for openings. Good head movement by Pankey while he's coming in side to side. Never stands in front of him. Gives him a little bit of movement. Doesn't want to get flush. Get hit flush.
Pankey wants to make sure there's no upset tonight.
Right. Well, the hand speed obviously playing a factor here, Raul. So are the feints. The footwork of Cameron Pankey is creating openings on a fighter in Shalik Paisley, who for the most part has been wanting to slow the pace of this fight down, wanting to play defense.
You're right. I mean, Paisley just can't figure out the puzzle. You know, Pankey, like you said, side to side subtle movement to the right, to the left, those little feints. Even those little, when he pulls back and he counters off of that, it's got to be disappointing. You know, for Paisley when he throws some big shots and Pankey just pulls back and makes a miss and then counters off of that.
The mouth of Shalik Paisley starting to open, the body language changing a little bit as well. Final 10 seconds of round 5. Total domination from Cameron Pankey. Sixth and final round here between Cameron Pankey and Shalik Paisley. As Cameron Pankey has been in total control since the opening bell. And Raul, as we talked about, some of those disadvantages, some of the question marks that we had about Pankey coming off that upset loss at the hands of Juan Martinez, really none of that has come into play. Really no concerns
not at all
for Cameron Pankey whatsoever here tonight.
Not at all. I mean, like, I said earlier, he just, he ran out of gas. He needed more conditioning. Showing what kind of fighter he is, and it wouldn't surprise me if they down the line. I would like to see a rematch between him and Martinez. It was an excellent fight. It was an action fight. I think they enjoyed it here in Detroit. Why not? Here on Big Time Boxing USA.
Right hand to the body there from Pankey going back downstairs. Really the one time we have seen Paisley hurt in this fight, at least we think, was because of a body shot.
Yeah, I think those body shots, a couple of body shots that did hurt Paisley, those sweeping right hands to the body and also the left hook. Maybe those overhand rights, look, he's holding on there. Speed is power. Sometimes you get staggered by those shots. You get buzzed by those shots. It's a quick buzz, and then you hold on. You want to hold on, and that's exactly what Paisley was doing. So most likely he did get hurt by that overhand right.
Yeah, that was a flush lead right hand from Cameron Pankey, which came right after what was a decent shot from Paisley.
Going up the middle now with the overhand right, then a left uppercut.
You get the feeling Pankey's truly enjoying, after that disappointing outing the last time, he is thoroughly enjoying that he is dominating this fight.
No, yeah, this is a fighter who's having fun in there right now.
Yeah, and it looks like it. He's smiling back to the corner. He's smiling at Paisley at times when he There you go. He's having fun. Landing big shots. He's going for it now.
Final 30 seconds of this contest.
And his crowd is getting into it too. Look at that.
Cameron Pankey looking like Nolan Ryan
It's Robin Ventura.
Closing moments of this contest. An impressive performance from Cameron Pankey as he puts on a show for the crowd here in Detroit.
Taking a break on the ropes. You need a break like that too, right? Here we see Pankey doing the bolo punch and landing with the bolo punch with the right hand. Coming back with a left hook over the top. I think he really hurt Paisley there or knocked him off balance. There he's had a little bit of showboating, a little bit of charisma. Great fight, great win.
That's exactly the kind of confidence builder that you'd have to think that Cameron Pankey needed here tonight. Not just an easy wipeout win, but one where he goes some rounds, shows off his skill, and clearly got his mojo back tonight.
I totally agree. Hey, he wasn't a guy that he just, he whacked out in 2 or 3 rounds. He had to work. He couldn't get. He had to stay disciplined all throughout the fight. He couldn't take rounds off, and that's what he did. He took care of business and dominated for 6 rounds. I like Pankey. I want to see him again.
All right, let's make this one official. Let's send it back up to Pete Trevino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the fighters in this ring. After 6 rounds of featherweight action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score this matchup 60-54 for your winner by unanimous decision. The Fighting Pride of Pontiac, Cameron the Problem Pankey.
So a shutout unanimous decision victory for Cameron Pankey to cap off the prelim portion of tonight's broadcast. The Pride of Pontiac, Michigan, back in the win column as we take a look at the results from our first 7 fights of the evening. Cameron Pankey closing the show, but still to come at the top of the hour, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, our main broadcast live on DAZN, which will conclude with our main event, Claressa Shields taking on the WBC Women's Heavyweight Champion, Vanessa Joanisse. We'll also get a look at 240-pound contenders in Michelle Rivera and Shojahan Ergashev. Well, plenty of action to kick us off here in Detroit, Michigan. Big wins for Danielle Perkins, Sammy Worthington, Jaquan McElroy, Tito Mercado, Hassam Al-Mashadi, Josiah Shackelford, and Cameron Pankey. Join us at the top of the hour from the Motor City. For my broadcast colleagues, Al Bernstein and Raul Marquez, we'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Mercado. Hussam! Mighty Joe! Pankey!